Ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched this channel for a while, you'll know that I always talk about the good things that happen when an individual stops drinking alcohol. The weight loss, the mental clarity, the careers taking off, the relationships that get fixed. I'm always going to talk to you about the good things that happen when somebody stops drinking. Because in my personal experience, when I removed alcohol from my life, everything just took off like a rocket ship. It was the best thing that I did in my adult life. And it was the catalyst to just living what was my dream life many years ago. And that would never have happened without stopping drinking. So I'm always going to talk to you about the great things that will happen. However, is it all going to be plain sailing, right? Is it really going to be this simple process that I always say it is? Or will there be problems? Well, there 100% could be problems, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. At the end of the day, I want to encourage you to be sober. I want to inspire you, and I really want you to take this path because it will change your life in every single way. But at the same time, I want to be real with you. I want to talk to you about some of the difficult things that may happen on your journey so I can equip you. I can equip you with strategies, with ideas, so when these hard times come, when these difficult challenges happen, you're prepared. You're ready just to push through them and keep on this path. So today in this video, I'm going to break down 4 problems that you may face when stopping drinking alcohol. And once you know about these problems, you're equipped, you're ready to deal with them, and you can just keep on going. So this video is going to be awesome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first 3 problems that it creates are quite easy to deal with, right? I'm not going to lie. But when I get to the 4th one, listen, that might upset some of you. So please make sure to watch this entire video and definitely stick around for the 4th one. Because once you've got your head around that, it's game over. And just before we get into these problems, if you want my personal help stopping drinking alcohol and you want to join the Sober Clear program, where we first reframe how you view alcohol by using something called first principles thinking, and then what we do next is we really focus on the future. We start improving health and relationships and business and finances, all of these things, and we do it with coaching in a community of business owners and professionals, then please click the link in the description. You can book a call and we can see if working together could be a good match. My method requires no labels, no guilt, no shame, no willpower, no AA. It's completely different. So if you want more info, click the link in the description. You can book a call. And now back to the video. The first problem that you could face when stopping drinking alcohol is that you may move away from some friends. Let me explain. When you stop drinking alcohol, you will start growing in your life. When you're not poisoning your body and your mind and your energy, you will just start getting new ideas. You'll start wanting to train. You'll start wanting to spend time with family. Maybe you've got business ideas and books that you want to write. There are lots of things that can happen. And when you start growing, there may be certain people in your life that feel uncomfortable around you. And I'm not saying that you need to go and analyze all of your friends and really just look at every single person and then just ruthlessly cut people out and say goodbye. No, I'm not saying that you've got to do that. But what can happen is naturally you may move away from people that you've had relationships with for many years. You might find that some people are not 100% supportive of your journey and they almost show a little bit of envy. They'll kind of downplay it like, oh yeah, you're stopping drinking for a bit. Yeah, you'll be back on it. Am I saying everybody's going to be like that? No. Am I saying every single person is going to experience this? Absolutely not. But this is something that happened in my journey. Right? I had people in my life that drank alcohol that were fully supportive of my decision. They continued drinking, but they didn't go to the same places I did with drinking, right? So I had lots of friends that were supportive, and I stayed friends with those people. And in fact, I'm still friends with some people that drink today. But there were certain people in my life that the relationship really revolved around drinking and not a great deal else. And naturally, I didn't ruthlessly cut these people out and block them or something like that, but we just moved away from each other. And that's okay, right? It's okay to move away from people. It's okay to improve your life, to grow, and it's okay to almost outgrow some relationships because you'll just make space for new people. So whilst it can be painful, whilst it can be a problem, it's actually a good thing because when you don't drink alcohol, you start putting out a better kind of energy. You start putting out a different vibration. You behave better. You put out good vibes. And guess what happens? Good things just start coming back to you. And guess what? The bad things, well, you just start distancing yourself from those things. So that's number 1. The second problem that you may face are sleep issues. This 100% can happen. This can happen if you only have a few drinks at night, and this can happen if you're a heavy drinker. Quite often, people that I work with, and I've worked with a lot of people now, they often complain about bad sleep for that first kind of week or 2 after stopping drinking. And that can even last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how much people have drank and how much they've relied on drinking to fall asleep at night. Then, a little bit later on, people often start complaining about dreams. They start having the most vivid dreams ever, and that can wake them up at night. And you might have to go through a period of difficult sleep. But at the same time, the sleep that you're getting, it's probably the same as what it was like when you were drinking, right? It's probably no better or no worse. But because you're not poisoned anymore, because you're not drinking this drug anymore, you feel it a little bit worse. You still feel groggy, you still feel tired, but it's totally normal, right? This could be part of the process. But once you've kind of gone through that 2-4 week period of difficult and poor sleep, on the other side of it is the best sleep of your life. I know for me, sleep is so important, right? If I get a good quality night of sleep, the next day I'm more productive, I'm more happy, I'm nicer to be around. And if I get bad sleep, there's no way I can perform at the highest level. And it's so important. And when you remove alcohol, yeah, there could be a difficult period to deal with, but guess what? The best sleep of your life is just around the corner. So just stick with it, it gets easier. Now, the third one, and this is kind of getting a bit more difficult now, but the third problem that you may face is that you actually have to let go of the current version of you. What on earth do I mean by this? Well, when we're drinking alcohol, there's a persona that we are, there's a person that we are, a character, there's this thing that we identify with. And now when we remove alcohol, we can start to evolve as a person, right? We can start to become somebody completely different. But this only happens if you can let go of the current version of you. Like when I drank alcohol, that current version of me was fickle. I wasn't training intensely. I wasn't consistent at the gym. I wasn't very consistent with my business. In fact, I tried to start a business when I was drinking alcohol, personal training in London, and it failed. Because when I was drinking, I was this type of person, right? I wasn't fully committed. I wasn't dedicated. And I was just kind of like partying a little bit, trying to start a business. I wasn't all in. And that was who I was at the time. And when I stopped drinking alcohol, I went through this coaching program where it really got me to design who I needed to be to achieve my dream. And what it got me to do in this coaching program is this old version of me, it needed killing, right? It needed diet. It just needed to go away and never come back. And I had to design this person that I had to become. And the person I knew I had to become was consistent in the gym. I wanted to be in a relationship. I wanted to move to Thailand. I knew that I had to do things like make YouTube videos and solve a problem for people. And that was how I would create my dream life. I knew who I had to become. And in order to do that, the old version of me, I had to say goodbye to it. I had to become somebody completely different. And that is a problem you may face. You might need to say goodbye to the version of you right now. But guess what? It's not a bad thing. Is it challenging? 100% it's challenging. Becoming somebody new, changing who you are on an identity level, yeah, that's hardcore. You're letting go of who you might have been for the past decade. But you're making space for a better version of you. So whilst this is kind of a problem, it's also awesome because you're making space for a better version of you to flourish. Which leads me to the fourth problem. And the fourth problem that you will face is that you must take full responsibility for everything in your life. What on earth are you talking about, Leon? Well, if you're not where you want to be right now because you've been drinking alcohol for a number of years, guess what? It is all your fault. And I'm not trying to guilt you, right? I'm not trying to say that you're the problem here, because you're not the problem. You drank a drug because it's highly addictive, right? And you've been conditioned to see it this way. But at the same time, it's your responsibility to solve this problem. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You need to take responsibility for the issue and for everything in your life. And this, again, is something that I learned from a mentor. The mentor said that wherever you are in life right now is 100% your fault. You have designed your life where it is right now. And it's up to you to take absolute responsibility for everything. Everything. And he would say, it's not your parents' fault, right? It's not your upbringing's fault, your schooling system. Nothing is to blame except for you. And when I got told that, it hurt. It stung. That was a problem I was dealing with because I was like, damn, like my life sucks. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like where I live. I'm borrowing money off family. I'm living at a friend's place because I had no money. I was overweight. And that's where I was. And when I got told that this was my fault, it hurt. And it's a problem that I had to overcome. But guess what happens when you take responsibility for everything in your life? You have the full responsibility and the full power to make changes. Being able to take full responsibility for everything in your life is extremely painful. But also, it is the most liberating thing that you can do. Because if you can take ownership for where you are right now, you can take ownership for where you're going next. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Have a great day.